Hi, my name is Roger Schlater. This video is actually about if you've ever gotten a check and you forget to cash it for a long period of time, and then you get it and you go, is this thing good anymore? Or am I going to have to go back to the maker of the check and try to get them to write another check, which could be difficult. So anyway, this is really how long is a check good? And what are your alternatives if you forget to cash the check, which I've done. I do know a person that forgets to cash checks all the time. He's even gotten money back from that, from when you, if they cheat it back to the, they call it a cheat, back to the state, where it goes back to the state because nobody claims that money. Then a lot of times that money goes into an account with your name on it, but you have to claim it. And depending on the state, you have to do certain things to claim it. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Let's say you receive a check. You usually, hopefully you cash the check right away. I usually cash my checks right away. Of course, maybe I need the money, but anyway, you should. If you do not, if you, the check could expire, so you should cash your check as soon as you get it. And you might lose your chance to collect your cash. So anyway, how long is a personal check for? The check is usually good for 6 months. Some banks and credit unions will honor the check after that date. If you have an expired check, contact both your bank and the issuing bank and then find out their policies on expired checks. So anyway, what happens when you deposit an expired check? Trying to cash an expired check can backfire. Let's say you deposit the check and your bank accept the funds. You might see the money appear in your bank account, or you may walk away with the cash, but there is a chance that the issuing bank will reject the transaction after you receive or spend the money. Common reasons an expired check might be rejected: well, there's not enough funds in the issuing account anymore. The issuing account has closed. The person who wrote the check placed a stop payment order on the check, and this happens sometimes. People buy things and then they say, whoa, I don't know if I want to pay for it, so they go ahead and put a stop payment on the check. That has legal implications that are beyond the scope of this video. But now, if the check is rejected, the check amount will be withdrawn from your account, and then you would be charged a return check fee, which is used to be around $35. It's probably gone up by now. So if you do not have enough money to cover the withdrawal, the bank could charge you additional overdraft fee of around $35, and that's, again, could be low. So anyway, let's get this right. So you get a check from somebody, you forget to cash it, you cash it, and you take out the money, and then all of a sudden they come back. You don't have much money in your account. They come back and try and basically take the fees out of your account. And if you don't have enough fees, they charge you a fee of up to like $45, and then later on they charge you an overdraft fee of like $35. I mean, you could just spend some money here. So anyway, how long is the payroll check good for? Payroll checks are usually good for 6 months, although some banks and credit unions, like I said, will accept them after that date. Payroll checks are not very common these days. Only 3% of people still receive paper checks. An expired payroll check, could be cashed up to 1 to 3 years, depending on state law. To ask the employer to reissue the check, that's what you should do. You do that by contacting the employer's HR or payroll department. They can get your replacement check usually in about 2 weeks. After that period, the employer must report the check to the state as unclaimed property. And that's what I mean. The money is actually cheated back to the state, but it's usually got your name on it. So it's unclaimed property. There is usually a process for collecting unclaimed property in your state. So anyway, the person I knew that used to do this all the time and never cashes checks, basically all of a sudden he found out he was on that unclaimed property. They listed his name there, and he was like, whoa, looks like I got some money. And he did. He had like thousands of dollars in there. But anyway, that's really not that was his money to begin with. And I don't know if he realized it or not, but it was his money that he never cashed the checks and basically went back to the state. So anyway, if you ever think you may have done that once or twice or for any amount, I would check the unclaimed property in your state and check for your name. And if it's there, you may have some money there. So anyway, how long is a cashier's check good for? I mean, cashier's checks are like gold, supposedly. Depending on the bank policies, the cashier's check could be good for 60 days, 180 days, or until the bank goes out of business. So look on the check to see if there's a void date. If that date has passed, then you want to ask the bank to reissue the check, because this is a you are talking about a cashier's check, which is supposed to be the most trusted form of check. So anyway, if the check is and just ask the bank to reissue that check that you have. And then if the check is a government check, ask the issuing agency to give you a replacement check. And they'll usually do this for a set number of years. How long is a traveler's check good for? Because we've all had these. I know in the day, maybe not as much anymore, in the day you used to get traveler's checks, and then supposedly if you didn't cash it, you'd still get your money back, because what they do is they go by the signature. You sign them in front of the bank, and then when you pay for something with them as a check, you sign it again, and that person can look at those two signatures and see if they basically match. I don't know, you're kind of giving the guy your signature, so he just practices it till he knows it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, traveler's checks do not expire as long as the issuing bank is still operating. You can use traveler's checks whether you're traveling or not. So you could use them anytime you would like. So anyway, that's it. That's the lowdown on checks. And I don't know about you, but I cash them as soon as I get them. Most of the people I know cash them as soon as they get them. So I don't know if this is really a beneficial video or not, but at least it gives you an idea if you misplace one and find it later or something like that, of exactly what to do. So anyway, thank you very much. My name is Roger Schlueter, and please, if you found any value in this, I hope you'll like the video. Go ahead and subscribe, and if you want to see videos in the future. So anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.